Hi YouTube. I'm sorry if you see my face being like, oh, ugh. This is my fifth take for this video, guys, and at this point I feel kind of frustrated. The first attempt, I already had my video about 90% edited, and something went on with my editing program that just, kept giving me an error, and it just ruined my editing. It ruined my video, and I just had to, re-record the second video. I'm babysitting my niece, and well, my son is here too, and they're just like running around and screaming and stuff, doing kid stuff. And when I went back and heard the video, I mean, you could hear them more than you could hear me. The third video, my niece discovered that she can bounce a basketball, so it was just, basketball bouncing mostly throughout the video. And if it was me listening to that, I understand when people have kids and stuff, but it gets to a point where you're just like, okay, I've heard enough of basketball bouncing, so I had to delete that video as well. And similar things just kept happening throughout the rest of the attempts. This is my fifth attempt, and I'm going to try to do it as short as possible so I don't have to edit, because my editing program is failing me. And the kids are, just watching some Sesame Street right now. Hopefully y'all can, just rush through this really quick, but make a good video. As you can tell up there and down here, this video will be about menstrual cramps. It's kind of like, an embarrassing. See what I'm talking about? It's kind of like an embarrassing topic to talk about for most girls, and it's very uncomfortable for men to hear about this topic. But if you're a girl, stick around because you might hear something that helps you out. If you're a guy, stick around too because you might hear something that helps you understand what us girls go through every month. And now every girl is different, so some of them may not experience cramps as others, but stick around anyways. You might learn something helpful today. So, like I said, our topic of today is menstrual cramps, and there are different levels of menstrual cramps. There are very mild menstrual cramps, and there's moderate menstrual cramps, and there's like uh, very painful menstrual cramps, and there's like the next thing above that. Okay, if let me recap that. Let me go back to the top. What causes a menstrual cramp? Well, there's a variety of things. There's not maybe one of those reasons may affect your menstrual cycle. Maybe the next month it may be something else that affects your menstrual cycle. But one of the reasons, or some of the reasons I'm gonna name now, are a narrow cervical canal, which tends to increase menstrual cramps. It means that if your cervix has a very narrow canal, it makes it harder for fluids or tissue or clots to pass through there. So that's when the pain develops. Another anatomical factor thought to contribute to menstrual cramps is a backward tilted uterus, which means that if your uterus is kind of like this, at the time it hits this part, it kind of like makes it difficult for, again, fluids, dead tissue, or clogs or anything that has to go through there. It makes it a little bit more painful for it to go through there. Lack of exercise is not recognized to contribute to painful menstrual cramps. We all know that exercise is fundamental, is a must in everyone's life, just because it helps an overall better function of the body and overall health. It has long been thought that psychological factors also play a very important role in this. For example, emotional stress. If you're very stressed, that, trust me, and I've been there, that just contributes 101% to a more painful menstrual cycle. Whew, I try to go through that as fast as I could. But yes, stress really, really, really affects me personally, and it might affect you as well. If you're very stressed, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna notice that it affects your body in a lot of ways, not only when your menstrual period comes around, but in other health ways as well. Um, some symptoms of menstrual cramps can begin with lower abdominal pelvis, discomfort, that can move from, you know, your lower back to your legs as well. The cramp can be a quite painful or simply dull ache. They can be periodic or continual. Menstrual cramps usually start shortly before the menstrual period, peak within 24 hours after the onset of the bleeding, and subside again after a day or two. Menstrual cramps may be okay, I can never pronounce that, but they may come along with headaches, nausea, or vomiting, constipation, or diarrhea. Again, this really depends on pretty much how your body uh, is. Everyone is different. You know, you might constipate, or you just get diarrhea, which, or maybe nothing at all. You know, just go through your day like nothing's happening in your body. If you're one of those, you know, I'm really, really happy for you. You're not missing on anything. um, Again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to go through this as fast as I could. There is a treatment, or what is a treatment, or there are a few treatments for common menstrual cramps, or otherwise known as primary dysmenorrhea. Every woman needs to find a treatment that works for her. Not every woman is going to experience the same type of cramps, which means that not every woman might work. Not treatments may not work the same in every single woman. So you will need to go through the process of seeing what works best for you depending on your type of cramps and depending on how your body reacts to different type of treatments. But you know, there's a number of non-prescription over-the-counter agents that can help control the pain as well as actually prevent the menstrual cramps themselves. For mild cramps, you can use aspirin or acetaminophen. I can never pronounce that right. This you can find this in Tylenol, or you know, there's over-the-counter acetaminophen as well. These only help when there is a very, very mild cramp. When there's a very, very mild cramp. But again, you know, if you have a little bit of a more painful cramp, you can you can always go to another over-the-counter drug, which is ibuprofen, naproxen, which you can find in Advil, Midol, IB, Motrin, Cream, and Aleve. A very, very, you know, a thing that I really recommend if you have kind of like a very painful menstrual cycle is to start taking these medications 1 or 2 days before you actually start your period. You know, if you know you're gonna start your period in 2 days, start taking today medication. I don't know, like an Advil or a Tylenol right now, and then wait 8 hours, and then take the other one. You know, like kind of like as if you were having pain. The bad thing about this that I've figured out over time is that your body eventually grows immune to it. If I hope I'm being clear with this. You know, if you start taking Tylenol, or okay, no, not Tylenol, Advil, for example, and you know you take it 2 days before your period, every I don't know, one pill every 8 to 12 hours. It works. It really does work. But over time, over the months or over the years, your body just pretty much begins to grow immune to it. So you do have to be very careful with that. If you don't need to take medication, just don't skip it to when you only really need it. But if you have very severe cramps every single month, it is recommended to start doing something about it 1 or 2 days before your period. Now, if these over-the-counter not prescriptions, if these over-the-counter medications or treatments don't help, I really, really highly recommend that you visit your doctor. Just because it might be necessary that you take something prescribed, something over the counter might not work for you. Your doctor might need to prescribe, you know, some, oh my god, some birth control pills. I mean, sometimes they may be very mild. Sometimes might be very mild, or sometimes, you know, the doctor knows what is best for you. You might need oral contraceptives, or an IUD that releases small amounts of these. So again, you know, if something over the counter doesn't work, talk to your doctor. I myself personally don't like to take birth control or anything that's got artificial hormones in it, just because I don't like. Ugh, I got chills. I don't like the what it does to your body, you know. But again, that's just a personal decision. If you're okay with it, go for it. Talk to your doctor about it. There are surgical solutions. I'm not going to touch that subject just because, you know, if you're going to go to your doctor, he will talk to you about the best resource for you out there. Um, what, baby? Uh, yes, ya casi hora de dormir already. So, guys, I really hope this video was helpful. I'm sorry that I'm not editing this video right now. Like I said, I tried doing it and it just, I got ruined. I just feel so frustrated for that. But and then I tried filming it another 4 times, and you know, things just happened. But I really hope this video, at least, you know, if my information was not helpful, I hope it makes you feel not lonely out there, because I know what it can be like. Before I had my son, my my periods were just like, you know, they were just like whatever, you know, it was just like a normal day to me. After I had my son, my body kind of changed a little bit, and my periods became very heavy. And I'm sorry if it's TMI, they became heavy and painful, which, I mean, I'm okay with the heavy part, but the painful part is the one that's just not very nice to be with. So I understood the women that would, you know, miss work or miss school because of that. Before, I didn't understand that. You know, I would hear someone miss work or school over cramps, and I'd be like, that's ridiculous. You know, who does that? Everyone has cramps. Until I came across this, well, my body changed, and I had to chew my words and swallow them, because now I was the one having to miss work and having to miss school because of cramps. And it is really, really, really frustrating at times, because you don't want it to affect your lifestyle. You don't want to have to adapt yourself around your menstrual cramps. But sometimes you have to, until you find a solution or until you find a treatment that works for you. So don't feel lonely out there. You know, talk to your doctor, talk to your friends, to whoever you feel comfortable talking with. Try to start a treatment, always under, you know, medical observation. Don't just go and, you know, take a whole bunch of pills. Be very, very careful with what you take. Don't just take anything, because instead of helping yourself, you might harm yourself more. So be very careful with what you take. You know, yoga is a very, 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 very good alternative. I will put some links down below to some yoga videos that I found on YouTube that I found very, very helpful. Meditation also helps a lot, because a lot of times, like I mentioned before, stress is a very high factor, or a number one factor of menstrual cramps. So meditation helps you just, you know, relax your muscles, release the tension. There's, you know, you don't necessarily have to take medication for this. There's a lot of options out there. I searched the web before I made this video, and I found, you know, it's just tons of information out there. You know, try to look for what's best for you. There's also foods you can avoid, you know, avoid caffeine, avoid sugars, avoid very greasy foods, avoid very spicy foods, avoid very condimented foods, because they will irritate your stomach, which can cause bloating, which can cause, you know, more cramps. Try to take only, you know, fresh fruits and fresh veggies and whole, and, you know, try to have small meals and drink a lot of a liquid, so you can kind of like cleanse yourself and try to ease the pain, try to like, you know, try to like help your body react to it in a much, much different, or in a much better way. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys, and remember, there's tons of information out there. If none of that helps, or if you don't feel comfortable trying anything that you found on the web, consult your doctor, talk to your mom, talk to your sister, talk to anyone that you, excuse me, anyone that you feel comfortable talking with. This is something that all of us go through, so there's really nothing to be ashamed of, you know, talking about it. And don't feel lonely out there if you're experiencing very, very harsh or very hard cramps. They do affect a lifestyle sometimes. So I will be talking to you guys later. Let me know what you guys think. You know, leave some comments, subscribe, video response, or, you know, send me a message. Tell me what you do to uh, ease the pain, or tell me how this affects your lifestyle. and you know how you feel about it. So I will be talking to you guys in my next video. I hope everyone is having an amazing week and everyone is doing great. This has been a 15-minute video, so I'm just gonna cut to this video, and remember, be your own kind of beautiful. Bye.